as you do that. I'm not doing this anymore. You know, Nicole does this for me, but still. So this is a great way to be able to help. Get the list from the different places, NetX, Shareholder Services. You can either go to each VA website or use DST Vision, like we've shown on another one of these. If you don't know how to use Vision, or what it is, it puts non-platform, all of your non-platform retail and the variable annuities together in the same database, right? So now some people also use client data now, but those are, well, I just prefer to do it this way because they also put RMD information in there and client data now doesn't. So you can actually download lists from the different places, you know, what RMD, you know, which clients it is, what it's supposed to be, do you have it on automatic, things like that. So just downloading all those lists, it's better to get it from these places than using client data now. And put them in a spreadsheet. Don't do a PDF. Do them in a spreadsheet.
Did we lose you?
Yep.
I'm a list person. I'm sorry. It's true. I'm a list person, but I mean, I feel like I'm
Rebecca, can you
accomplishing.
rewind like 15, 20 seconds? We lost you there for a little bit.
Oh, okay. 15, 20 seconds. What was the last thing you heard?
Yep.
Choosing a system to mark them done.
To mark them
You
as
were
done.
you were on the spreadsheets and you're starting to get into that part.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm a list person and I feel a sense of accomplishment when I get it done and when I'm marking them off, or if I'm doing it on a list on Excel, I'll put in italics or I'll color it red or I'll do something, you know, just choose something to where you know if it's done or not. I always put the date to the date that it was finished so that I can refer back. Because although it seems now like, of course, I've marked it off, it's done, but when I'm trying to come back to a similar list next year, you know, it helps to see exactly what that was. So again, I just have a system. Keep a running list. I use again tabs, so with every year, so I can easily click and refer back to what I did, and then save. You can attach the spreadsheet.
Boy.
Rebecca's gone again.
Uh,
Yeah, is she sharing a spreadsheet too, or because we still see the presentation?
yes, no, it's just the present. She said she'd do the spreadsheets after she's done the
Oh,
presentation.
got it. Okay.
Every time she says spreadsheets, we lose her.
Spreads, really?
We lost you on
Spreadsheet?
spreadsheet.
Okay, but so attach your system visual aid to the contact card in your database, Wealthbox, CRM, whatever it is, because I find that even if when I'm putting notes in, they make perfect sense to me. If I go back the next year, sometimes I'm going, what was that? And Nicole has to be able to understand them too. And if she can't, then I've got the notes in there. Or if, you know, she's sick or something like that, and I need to get in there and it's from a year, you know, whatever just happened. So I starting to attach to my database. Y'all still with me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Because I can't see you again when this is in whatever mode. So when you're doing a list, okay, you've compiled all your lists, right? First in the process, then sort by, I find it helpful to sort by when I do them. I have a few people that do monthly, not many, but I have a few people that do monthly. Those are easier to check, so I get those out of the way right away. And then some do it in January, some do it in December. Now, you know, and I know Nick has his own system. For me, the people, like there's people who want to do it in January because they want to use that money to pay their property taxes or to pay, you know, they know income taxes are coming up, so they want to do that somewhere January-ish. Some want to wait as long as possible, and then just do it December because they want their money to grow. And so they want to leave it as long as possible. They do it December. However, you do it just
We're stuck on however you do it now. Oh dear. There's no way to really let her know that she's freezing either. Actually, I can text her. Da, 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 da.
Thank you, Debbie.
There you go. Whoops, she's gone altogether now.
All right, does anybody else have any filler content? Oh, no, I think she's back. I think. Who knows?
No,
Yeah, she muted.
You're
so
muted,
annoying.
Rebecca. There we go.
Aw. All right, where did I leave? I don't know what the internet is doing today. Where did I leave y'all?
doing it was the last thing you said.
Doing what?
That you're not sharing
Just do it,
anymore.
do it.
You're into to the part of strategize where you'll take them from if you have multiple, and that's where we lost you. And you were starting to say doing it, and then that's where we lost you.
Okay.
Third
All right,
bullet
and I
down.
can't see when y'all aren't there, so I'm gonna leave it like this. I've tried to make this, and I'll make this bigger, but I can't see if y'all aren't there anymore. Like I don't know when
Okay.
you left, honestly. So I'm gonna make it bigger like this, and then hopefully that
Good.
helps. But the clients are always surprised that we don't just take the amount that is there, from different places. You may want to take, if you have 3 different IRAs, take it all from one place, or you might time it. So an example would be they have a VA with an LWG. So you're taking the maximum that you can from whatever that is. Well, that is probably more than the RMD. So you will need to take less from another place. That may be a tool that you use, things like that. But just, make sure that you also, again, that's something to think about. You have a system for, deciding that, whether it's, you do it all at once or whether you look at it monthly, but again, just a system. I'm not telling you any system's right. I'm not telling you mine's the best, but just have a system for that and make sure you track it. Keep a running list. Just so that you can refer back, but make sure on the metrics that you have, whatever, there are some things, whether it's
Uh, here we go again. I wonder if it's her processing speed or if it's her internet connection. Okay, I'll tell her that. Oops, that's Charlie.
Also, sometimes it helps bandwidth if she calls in and shares video separately.
Okay, I'll tell her.
Didn't she just get a new computer too? So
It is a new computer. She just got it.
yeah, that's what I thought.
It's supposed to be faster.
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I don't know what it is, but because this doesn't normally happen. It's not like it's the first day I've presented or anything.
We were just telling you to maybe shut off your video picture or call in and share your video separately is what everyone was saying, I was sending you text messages on the
Okay.
Telegram feed.
Yeah, I'll cut my video off. That'll work. All right.
See if that will help.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just several tracking measures, what the number's supposed to be, where it's going. Like I do a lot of journaling um, from IRAs to non-qualified. There are people who say, I just don't want it, I'm not going to use it or put it in, my grandkid, the account that I started for my grandkids. And so I do a lot of that. So just make sure you know where it's going. It doesn't always go to the bank, or it doesn't, whether or not they take out the taxes, when it was done, things like that. Just make sure you have again, another system for tracking that. And then if you're taking it from different places, sometimes it's easier to do all of them from that one place at one time, not necessarily one client, but just and you're going through your list, everyone from Bright House gets done at the same time, and then everyone at Manage gets done at the same time. That sometimes people find that easier to track it that way. I think that a lot of if you have to get a wet signature, try and put that on. If there's a way to do it and the clients go with it, try and put that on annual so that you don't have to keep getting a wet signature every year. Um, there's a box on there and you can check that. It says periodic, annual, and you can do it. That'll save you time, and again, the office managers, this is, if you can help track those forms, because sometimes, like I just had one, they didn't send it out. And luckily, have the form stored somewhere. So on the correct database for compliance, I have it stored. And so I can pull this out and go, here, it says annual right there, so that I don't have to go and bother the client, get another signature again. So, keep those stored somewhere. You might attach it to your database, and that'll help you so you can refer back to that. And then I also find it's if I'm doing variable annuities to do those first, because if you that can be fixed. If you don't take the right amount from a VA and you mess that up, you can't go back and fix it, because you're going to lose some of the guarantees with that. So always work harder on those, do those first, make sure and get, because you can't fix that. And then, at the second custodian, I also round up a little bit. I don't have many that are exact numbers unless the VA does exact numbers for me, but I'm going to round up a little bit just to make sure you cover, because has come before that sometime in the middle of the year, the calculation was changed, the IRS, and I don't exactly know how that happened, but I was told in the beginning of the year, it was this much, they take in January, and then this much, and it was like 46 cents or something like that. It didn't happen. So it threw everything into disarray. They weren't penalized much. It was 46 cents. But anyway, it just wasn't right. So I always round up a little bit and tell them, just in case some changes, they'll cover it, because the IRS can change their algorithms. They often do. And then just make sure to document good notes, in the system, office manager, so that your RVP can see exactly what happened, and vice versa. If you need instruction, if you're giving instructions, just make those good. On the update, I update the FNA, how much, because with the withdrawal, I also have um a spreadsheet that I track, a client's performance on, just for my own benefit. I update that because it has um a column for withdrawals, because they wanted, and it's also nice to be able to tell it, hey, Mr. Client, you've got your required distributions. This is how much money you started with. You've taken out this much and you still have this much, so the amount taken out and annually or over time, I have a column for that too. So just update your databases, especially if you don't take them out exactly the number required. And again, so other things that I track, December 31st balance, everything, just track it somewhere. But anything else you can think of, better. This is not a place where less is more. It's a place where more is more, and the more things that you can track, the more information you have, that you don't have to keep here, that you can keep there, it's better for you. And then just another technique, I used to try and do it in December, and I mean, as the system changes, like when we moved to NetX and things like that, is in the beginning there were a lot of snafus and things that happened, and there were a couple that didn't get done in time. They happened on January 2nd, and I didn't notice it right away. And so then at that point, not only were their taxes off for 23, but in 2024, when we did it again, they they over uh, their taxes were jacked up that year because they had taken it in the other year. So then it pushed them up into another bracket. And I mean, it was a whole. So I started in early November now. I don't wait till December. Even for the people who want to wait as late in the year as possible, I just tell them if we want to be sure to get it done, we got to start in November. So that's when we do those things. Most people understand because they'd rather you start early than miss it. So just explain it. Um, I have clients sometimes that change whether taxes are taken out or not. I had a client change on me this year. So re-verify, is it still the bank account that you want? Has the bank account changed? Has verify those things, just in case, because even if nothing's changed, the clients appreciate that you've thought of that, and are making sure that things are like that. So just always ask. Because we don't want to mess that up. And the last thing I think is, oh no, I got a couple more. Well, it's a lot of the things I just said. Verify that it actually happened. That's a big thing is, because again, on these, I had two that are supposed to be on automatic. One is December 5th, another one was November something, and they're both variable annuities. Neither one of them happened. So now I'm going, what's going on? But if I didn't do that in November, if I was thinking, if it's December 15th and it didn't happen, then now I'm trying to get stuff done and push it through at Christmas, trying to get signatures and stuff like that. So again, just another verify that it actually happened and do that with enough time to where you can take corrective action and get it done at that point. And then another thing that I try and do is if I have Bene IRAs, I just try and do them at the same time. That way, that's not just another thing that I have to worry about. If I'm already going through IRA distributions, I try and group my bennies with it. Hey, by the way, you have, yours coming out plus your mom's account. We are in year 5. And sadly, well, not sadly, but we may, so you took out 30,000. Well, you actually made 30,000, so we didn't make much of a dent. We've got to take out more this year. Since we're taking out for your RMD, do you want to? And again, make suggestions. Do you want to put that in a kid's account? You don't really need that money. Well, and I even said to one time, why don't you take a vacation? You haven't taken, well, I just wasn't sure I could. Well, now I'm telling you, you do book it. And she did. So, again, just value add anytime you can add some value. Because some clients think they don't have enough money. They don't know. They've always been told you're on a limited income and whatever. If just say, hey, take a vacation. You've got the money. Or leave some to the grandkids, gift, it'll lower your taxes, things like that. Anytime you can add value. But yeah, just that's something I found helpful is to do bennies at the same time. And then you know, offer to meet beneficiaries. That's another time when you can suggest doing a family meeting. Hey, we noticed that, you've got a lot of this money, you're not using it. Why don't we, take this opportunity to do a family meeting and see if anything that comes out of that meeting, you might see a need that needs to be filled, or, just so take the opportunities when you're talking to them for RMDs to suggest other things. Are you already taking your social security, because I had some people who started taking distributions before they were required, but weren't taking their social security before they came to me, right? So we, you know, fixed that and did some other things. But I mean, so just, anytime that you can take it to couple it with a value add that you can give, a social security seminar.
She's almost done her slides. Mercy. Hmm.
I was just thinking, because we're working on RMDs as well, is documenting whether they're pre-death January 1st, 2020 or post, just because of the RMD requirement in the 10-year for post, but prior than that, they can stay on RMDs.
Shannon, we
Say
started
that
doing
again,
that
Shannon.
also.
If clients, if I'm dealing with my beneficiary IRAs
Mhm.
and mom died, I have 2 clients that died December of 2019, so they can stay on RMDs basically forever. Where again, in the last 5 years, if it's a Bene IRA, they have the 10-year rule to distribute.
Right,
So I
right.
was thinking of adding tags for what kind of Bene IRA, that it's a pre-2020 or a post-2020, just for a quick reference.
A great idea.
Yeah.
I'm
So
putting that in the
I'm not gonna use any
description.
slides now. Sorry. Go ahead, Jessica.
I said I'm putting that in the description under their Benny IRA.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Putting, you know, if it's pre, and then in notes, I'm also putting, you know, the birth date and the date of death of
Mhm.
the person they inherited it from.
Mhm.
And then doing a spreadsheet, because this was my first year to do RMDs and I was really overwhelmed.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's a good idea, Shannon. And anybody else who finds ideas, I mean, I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Another thing I do with bennies is I also put like, how much we took last year and then what kind of looking at what their growth was because if we need to step it up, I start in the beginning by dividing by 10 and then adding some and then you divide by 9. So because what you don't want to do is get all the way to the end and not and have to take a ton. So this one lady, I mean, she took out 40 grand last year, and I'm like, yeah, but we made 35. So we need to step it up because that didn't make a dent, and so yeah, it becomes a problem at the end because after many good years, you gotta make a serious dent. Um, any office managers have like something that they came across that they hadn't, that they don't know how to tackle or hadn't thought of or, was wondering where to go get information, anything there? Okay, good, Jessica.
So I have 2 situations. I have one where her RMD was off by a penny, and it was miscalculated by a penny. It was already paid to her, and I called in and they said that she could send the money back. They could put it back in her account. They could recalculate it because it was their error and redistribute it, but it was for a penny. And she didn't want to do that. She was like, no, I've already spent it, blah, blah, blah. So what we did, and I don't know if this is the proper way to do it, we just did a withdrawal for $5. So to manually meet it, so I guess Steve sold something. I don't understand all that. So that was one situation. And then I have another client that is on an annuity, and he hasn't taken it out. He won't even sign the paperwork because this is his first year. He won't even sign the paperwork to have it done. He's I don't want to label him as like schizophrenic or anything like that, but he's very paranoid and of IRS and all that kind of stuff. And we're trying to explain to him, and he's elderly and he lives alone and all this kind of stuff. And we have sent the paperwork to him several times. We put post-it notes where to sign. We've overnighted the paperwork. We've gotten a family member involved, and we still can't get it done. Anybody have any suggestions on either of those 2 situations?
Well, I mean, I would say with the last guy, it was going to be my suggestion, trusted contact. But if you got a family member involved, where is he? Is he
He
close?
is He is in, he's out of state. I believe he is in Tennessee.
I mean, because I'd probably like I'd show up. That's
Mhm.
usually my like for example, I had a client that I hadn't been able to get a hold of in probably 10 years. And the only reason I knew where they were was because they changed their address and they wouldn't call, wouldn't call, wouldn't call. I finally just when we did the Texas convention up in Dallas Fort Worth area, I just went. I just showed up at their house and they're like, "Oh my gosh." And I said, "Look, I don't know if this is out of place here. I was just worried because we need to change something." And they were in retail at the time. I said, "We need to change some things. This is inadequate. You're missing out on money, but I haven't been able to get a hold of you. I just didn't know if was I, or my messengers are going astray." They're like, "We're so thankful you did that." And now what? Now I mean, we've revamped. They're maxing out. They've rolled over money. I mean, it turned into a few $100,000 of money that came in after that because they're like, okay, she really cares. Now, some people might go, "What a creep." You gotta be careful and kind of try to know, but at least they show you're going the extra mile. If it were me, I'd show up. If you've already gotten a family member involved and you can do that, because sometimes if they're not trusting, only this will settle their nerves. I don't know
Well,
if
the
anybody
fact that
else.
we're in Texas and they're in Tennessee,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but
that
he goes there from time to time. He was just there.
he looked and it's about a 4-hour drive from where he was at. So we're hoping that we can push it, but I mean, he loses the paperwork because I guess he's a bit of a hoarder too.
Mm.
And so that's why
Ca-
we've had it overnighted. We've had it mailed several times. We sent it to his sister. We've sent it to his bank because he trusts his bank.
Here's what you
Um,
might do. Here's what you might do. You might explain to him that if he doesn't get it done, that he's going to attract the attention of the IRS, that they might become interested in him, maybe audit him, some things like that. Just let him know that if you want to stay off the radar, ignoring this is not the way to do it, that it's actually going to probably, put you on their radar and maybe
And Jessica, I'm
that'll
sure you're
push.
already doing this, but I would document that so extreme for compliance.
oh yeah, I document every time we make a phone call, every time we send an
Yep.
Mhm.
email, every time we send him a package. We have the
Mhm.
So
tracking
you've covered
number.
your bases.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've got where we faxed it to the bank, we faxed it to the sister. I mean, yeah, because I'm just he's very non-trusting
Mhm.
But
and
those are usually one-offs. I mean, all of us have a couple of those crazy clients, but most of our
Mhm.
clients are going to return our calls, or
I
most
just
are going to.
yeah, this is like my first year, so I don't know how to deal with it. And then the penny just irritated me because, it said it wasn't met. And I'm like, wait a minute, and
Yeah.
so this is all just new to me. And then, having some of them that have taken out on another account, so they don't have to take it out on this account, that I would like to know a good way of tracking that.
You mean they have an account somewhere else with another
Yes.
advisor? Uh,
No, they haven't. So maybe I'm not explaining it right. Um, they took it out of a different IRA.
mhm.
And so they've met the requirement because they took it out on another IRA.
That should probably show up in your lists when you get your list done, because the ones if you're looking at the RMD lists, they'll say satisfied, not satisfied, or have taken this much, there's this much remaining. They have those in the list, so you can see those if when you're
I think
downloading
Jessica
or
missed the
whatever.
beginning part of your talk though, because you were saying how we have to document it onto the customer tiles and have it on your spreadsheets and stuff like that. That's where we were talking about. She was talking about putting it in Wealthbox or putting into your CRM, Jessica, as far as notes that you know.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I do. I just didn't know if there was an easier system than doing that.
No, I mean you gotta assemble your list. There's just not an easier way to do it. I mean, some people like to do electronically and just look at them and I got to do them into an Excel and sort them. And because again, I'll sort them by once they've been satisfied, they go to the bottom, and the ones that are still remaining at the top, things like that. That if you can sort those, then it's gonna help you. But and then on the penny, I would say I roll them up. I roll them up. Um, Now, if they only have one and it's a VA and they do it automatically like that, then yes, I would just do another distribution for a little bit. But most of my people don't only have a VA, so what I normally do the max at VA, like as much as they can and save the rest, and then I control, and that's why I like it. Maybe I'm a control freak, but I control, how much I take out of the other one, and can just, again, I roll it up a little bit just to make sure I cover my own bases, because again, I've had that situation too for 46 cents. So
Okay. Yeah, I have an Excel spreadsheet and I've just created tabs at the bottom of it for each, if it's mutual, managed, Corebridge, Lincoln,
mhm.
Bright
Well, I used to
House.
do that, and then I started just doing it all on one. And after so many years, you're gonna find you year after year after year after year, you might just do it that way because it's easier to track. So I would, but yeah, definitely have a spreadsheet and just document it on there, date that it happened, amount that went out, you know. I have one person that takes out three, she's got three different things. She takes out monthly for living expenses on one, she takes in January to pay her property taxes for two, and she takes out in April to pay her income taxes for three. So she's got her different, and it's just easier to track if you've got it all in one place. So yes, Sandra.
Sandra's got a question.
Yeah, when you mentioned, Rebecca, about clients that don't need their RMD, do you put it into a non-qualified emergency fund, or reinvest it? Do you send them the RMD and then draft it and put it into non-qualified? Can you send it directly to that non-qualified? Okay, I see
Yeah, not if
Debbie
I don't send it to them
nodding.
if I have to
Okay,
avoid it. You want to give them a chance to spend it, right? No, it's just easier. Yeah, you couldn't get it. I know in managed, again, I don't have anyone in retail that is on RMDs. So yeah, in managed, I just journal it from one account to the other. Like I said, I got one guy, he's opening 3 accounts for each of his grandkids, and we're just going to journal directly, you know, 10 or 15
okay,
grand in each of the accounts, and that way it doesn't have to go to the bank.
okay. So journaling it through NetX
Yep.
over. Okay, because I
Yep.
do
And
have a
you
couple
have to get
clients
a
that are
wet
managed.
signature in the beginning, but
Okay,
yeah, so unless they've changed that process, I haven't done that in a while, but you're supposed to get a wet signature in the beginning saying, yes, you can move money to like from bank account or between accounts and all that stuff. And then you get it signed once and then they keep it on file. And I think you may have
okay.
to update it every few years, but
That makes sense because I remember going through NetX and clicking, different places and saw that when I hit like journaling, it said you didn't have that ability to do that. So it might be because, like
yep.
you said, get that wet signature first, and then I should be able to
Yep, correct.
do
And
that.
sometimes, because Nick had said one time they let you just send an email. And I don't know if they just did that for him, but I tried that and was told, no, you are not, you, you are not important enough to only get to send an email. You still must have your client signed. So that's what I did. Yes,
Shannon
Shannon.
has a.
Thank you.
Have any of you guys done the QCDs, the qualified charitable donations for RMDs?
Yes, I had to do that this year also. Like I
Okay.
said, I got hit with everything this year.
I haven't done much of that in the past, and I have a couple clients where it's going to be relevant. And so I just wanted any tips, do's and don'ts, or things you've run into.
So what I have been told, when we did the QCD, obviously there's that form that you had to fill out. There's a special form for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to put the name of the charity on there, the address and everything. The check for the charity goes directly to the client, and then they give it to the charity.
Okay, so it's made payable to, it's like Fidelity rollovers for 401ks, where it goes to the client, but it's already made payable.
Yes. So, and it says something different on the form, but when I called in, they said no, they send it directly to the client now. So the client will get it. Theirs was made out to the church. So it'll say Church of Nazarene, blah, 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 with the address, goes to the client, and the client then can give it to the charity. Also, they will not figure out the percentages for you. So on the form, if you wanted a certain amount to come out of each account, so I had a husband and wife, right? The wife wanted to take all of her RMD, not charitable. The husband wanted to take half of the RMD charitable and take the other half, right? So on the form, he wanted a certain amount to come out of each account, because if he had 20% in this account, he wanted 20% of that RMD to come out.
So he had
Yes.
multiple IRA accounts.
Yes. So like I said, I got hit with a nice one this year. First year trying to figure this out. So they will not do the math for you. So you'd have to put every ticker symbol, and you have to put the dollar amount. And then the first section, and I don't have it in front of me, or I'd look at the first section, is basically the total of the amount that you want to come out for the charitable. And the next section would be the amount that you want to go to the client. And then it doesn't, you don't put the total of the total RMD, but they won't figure it out for you. So you have to figure it out.
And is it a one-off then, not a recurring annual QCD?
Correct. There's no form, from what I understand, that you do it once and it continues every year. It's a form that has to be filled out every single year, the QCD that I
And are you
was
talking
told.
SAM or NetX?
I believe it was mutual fund SAM, but I'd have to.
This has to be Sam because you said
If
ticker
you
symbol, and so
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on
Okay.
SAM. Yeah. I haven't had to do one on NetX yet.
Okay.
so that's another vote for managed. If you don't have to calculate yourself exactly what you take out, they would do it for you. You only have to do the dollar. So
Yeah, and you can't put pro rata, because that's what I was wanting to do. They won't let you put that either. So I hope that answers your question, Shannon. Sorry if it didn't.
That's okay. I think I would have more on NetX than usually my higher values will go NetX than
Right.
SAM. And small RMDs, I don't do as many QCDs.
yeah. Now, and that's interesting if you think about it, because you would either have, so if you choose a ticker and how much to take out of it, I mean, you can either make it easy on yourself and take it out of just one and then rebalance, or you could try and, take from each of the different, I can't stand not being, make me crazy. Or you can take the, from each, but it sounds like the form would be a little more confusing and the math would be more intimidating. You might just have to take it out of one and then rebalance.
We just did all the math, is what we ended up doing. Because the client was very adamant about that. So
Okay. Well, but I
And
mean,
this
it's
is
taken out from which fund and stuff.
my thought would also be to do the QCD, let's say, pick the dollar amount, look at his account. Let's say he needs 10 grand out for RMD. In November, this would be how I would do it probably. Take out 5 grand for the QCD and then have my recurring RMD trigger in December, already knowing whatever he's taken out for the year and pulling the residual. That way I still have it automated, because I'm trying to automate all of mine because I don't want to oopsie, end up in the hospital, something doesn't get done.
Yep.
So the more I can automate, the better. But that QCD happening the month before would already reduce that amount, and it should go autopilot from there.
okay, I see what you're saying. So this was the first year that he wanted to do the QCD. And I don't know, it's qualified charitable donation is what we're saying, if
Yes.
anybody doesn't know what that means. So this was the first year he wanted to do it. He doesn't know if he's going to continue it. So what you're saying is I want to make sure I understand. If he has to take out 10,000, do 5,000 that automatically goes to him at the beginning of the year, and then whatever's left, if he decides to donate? No?
Opposite.
No, opposite
I
way.
actually, and again, I totally understand, like Rebecca said, some clients may want theirs in January. I trigger mine. I just worked with my office gal on this. I like to do a lot of my RMDs automated systematically about December 10th. I know that sounds late, but the reason is, let's say they need to take out $20,000 and they're already, because they're retired, taking out 1,000 a month. Most of my monthly distributions are set for the 1st, maybe the 5th. So by December 10th, they would have already taken out $12,000, 1,000 per month, and then my RMD would be operating in the background and it would pull the remaining 8 grand and send it to the client. If you trigger it early, but then they decide to go on to monthly later, you're going to take out more than your RMDs. So that's just how I usually do it. So the QCD, I would manually do the QCD whatever time of year they want, but then have the RMD pull December 10th.
Okay. Yeah, I
To
think
cover
maybe
whatever's
we're
remaining.
giving, I think maybe that Steve's giving them more of an option of when to do the RMD, because when I made phone calls, we normally say, oh, do you want it in November to spend on Christmas? Or do you
I
want it?
used to do all over the board, and I've started systematizing that if they don't need it at a specific time, I usually choose that December date. But
Okay,
early enough that, like Rebecca said, I'm trying not to spin my wheels or have my office staff do that the end of December. But if it's automated early December, then it's fantastic.
okay.
And you have time to take corrective action if
Exactly.
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
only
do what
have
it's
the
supposed to.
one. I've got all mine done because we set up task for everyone that is required to have an RMD. So we have a task that says RMD checkup, and
That's
we set all
fantastic.
those for November 10th. So we started checking them on November 10th. So I only have that one that won't sign to get done.
Yes, Sandra's got a question.
Yeah, no, to the same topic. So I just did our first one for a client who wanted a portion of the RMD to go to her, but a set amount to be sent to the church. And on the alternate, this is NetX. On the alternate payee, put the church name, address, and I was told that it goes directly to the church, that amount. And then I also, on that same form, set it up where it's periodically for going that splitting every year. So I have the one time this year in December, and then it was 2 forms I was told they had to fill out, one going to her ACH for a certain amount, and then the another form going to the church. Both I could set up periodically and get that RMD in December, this month, and then moving forward.
And that's on
Sandra,
managed accounts?
Yes, managed accounts. Yep.
And when they were an alternate payee, they weren't just an alternate payee, right? They were still a QCD. Otherwise, it would be taxed as a distribution, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I think with the sending to one of the places, it's just like with the 401k checks. Some of them will send it to the custodian, some of them insist on sending it to the shareholder. I think it just depends on the company. Neither is wrong, but one is easier. How do you pull the reports that are not on stamp? Michaela, do you use DST Vision or managed accounts?
I'm the office manager and I'm still learning all that, so I'm not sure what we use.
Okay, so one I'm going to tell you, didn't we do that recently and recorded it? Ron, do you have a recording?
Yeah.
I
The
want to
DST
pull those.
Vision, when you
Is it
go in
already
to
posted?
give access, that one.
Do you mean ones that
Well,
are
I would
on?
know on where we were on reports to pull. I would say
Yeah, I
we
don't
had
think we
that
did
one.
reports to pull on DST Vision. I thought we did that on the NetX and other things.
So you're
Okay.
wanting to pull reports on NetX 360 and Bright House and Lincoln? Is that what you're asking?
Anywhere that would have RMD reports that we would need.
Well, I will try and share so that I can, well, I'll share at the last minute, although, let me log in. Let's see. Because there are a lot of places, so depending on what they use, does your RVP use managed account?
I believe so.
Okay. So on that one, you'd go to well, you get that out of the way. I can't see that. It's behind there it is. You go to the managed platform and you would do the easiest way is down here to the left on the dashboard. You go to, oh, no messages available. No, that's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay. Required minimum distribution. Okay, and you could go in there and it'll give you, and then it'll give you a list. Okay. It tells you the December 31st value last year, how much it is this year, what they've taken year to date, what's remaining. Oh yeah, that's the one guy we just did for the kids accounts. So met, not met. That's weird. And I just don't believe that because all mine are met, but they might be meeting them other places. So you can put on here, didn't we say met somewhere else, people? Like, can't you put met somewhere else?
Well, we had said, you had talked about just post it in each person's tile that it was met and that we took
No,
it from another location.
No, but I'm sure
you
we
can
could
go
say
into the actual account, Rebecca.
satisfied. Yeah, there we go. I
Yeah.
pulled it up, but I didn't see. Hold on. You can see, y'all can't see that. But you can pull, so when you put it in this and then you can put, let me move that. Right
Just change the
here, you can
status.
put satisfied from another account with our firm or satisfied from another firm. Do y'all see that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, you can put that in there. So you can tell if you did it here, did it now, and that way they would change it from not met to met. So you could pull that one. And then on, let's see,
And it'll
shareholder
actually
service.
say, Rebecca, on that report, if you do it that
Uh-huh.
way, it'll actually say manually met.
Okay,
So
nice.
on that where it says not met, when you do that,
Mhm.
it'll say manually met. So you know that you've
Yep.
actually, yes,
Done
done
it.
it.
Right. Okay. And then you can download it here, right? So you can just push that and put it into an Excel for shareholder services.
Yeah,
Sam, you can, oh, that's ugly.
go to
So,
shareholder services.
yeah, I pulled that up and then it said denied.
Reshare.
Okay. Well, I couldn't because it told me denied. It was like, no, error. So
Okay.
fine. Hold on. Okay. So
And right on the front page, it'll say RMD. See in the blue right
right
there.
here.
Over to the left in the middle.
Oh,
You are still recording, so Ron will have to adjust this
Yeah.
if you're gonna post it.
That's why I was just saying in the middle it says RMD distribution in the blue, and it'll pull up all the people that might need something left.
hold on.
The only thing
But
about
I
that
mean, can you
one,
get your whole list, Carol? Get the whole
Yeah,
list, right?
yeah, to show you your list of people that you have.
it will show
Okay.
you your whole list if you do RMDs age based, but you also need to make
Morning,
sure
everybody.
that you
So I
go
hope
to the
everybody's
other one that's a couple down that says beneficiary RMDs, because if you do the RMD on
Yes.
Sam,
Ah.
it does not pull the beneficiary RMDs. So
Okay.
so you need to make sure that it's a two-step. It separates the beneficiaries from the regular ones.
Okay, so
Okay. So
go in a different way. I don't know. Sometimes it locks you out this way. Go into my POL real quick over there, and then go into shareholder service that way.
my POL,
Right, the tab, the second tab up to the left.
This one?
Oh, all the way over. Yeah, that one. Click on that one.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. And go into all accounts?
Yes.
Okay.
And I guess you got to reshare.
Okay. Share.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then go into shareholder services. Oh, okay. Well, it's showing it now. So,
Yeah,
no, go back.
That's contact list.
You went too far. Just on that. Yeah, hit
I
the
think
premier.
what I'm doing it's a delay. I think when I'm doing something, there's a delay. And so you're telling me to do something and I've already done it. And
You
then,
allowed
so
that.
then I get
It's just
confused. Okay.
perfect timing,
So
right? And what
shareholder
I think
account
that
manager,
Okay.
then
see,
wait.
and it gave me an error.
Okay, when you go there on that first page, okay, well,
Still not given to me. Denied.
okay, that's the
Finally. Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's not showing me what I was trying to see. With
Yeah, try click on that and then all apps.
There's nothing there for me. I'm in shareholder account manager.
Okay, we still see your POL page.
Okay. See, I thought there was a delay. Well, I'm in shareholder services, and then in the middle, so I got RMD, base
yeah, but we
contribution.
don't see it. You still your
Yeah.
share screen is not.
No, I'm sharing. That's what I mean. There's a delay because mine, it's the same thing's been our issue all morning as my internet.
Oh, got it.
Apparently.
Gotcha.
So
Do you want
All
me
right.
to do it, Rebecca?
So the question I was asking you, because she just mentioned the
someone
Bene,
else want to give it a go?
the Bene
I don't
IRA.
mind doing it.
Someone else wants to give it a go. I'll host you, or Deb, you already host.
I can do it, Rebecca.
Jessica, yeah.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
I say that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can get into it on this and sometimes I can't on my laptop.
Okay. And then I wanted to see, okay, yeah, my POL, all apps, okay, shareholder services. The other way locks up for me. This one doesn't. And
And
then
then you
that's,
want to go in here.
yeah, okay, well, yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
your reds are going to be ones that have not been taken out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are all calculated correctly, but this does not show the Bene IRAs. So
Okay, so
you have to go here.
oh, okay, Bene. Okay, so
And then it
it's
shows
still
your
in that
Benes.
pile. Okay, it is in that pile though. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I didn't know
and
that button was there.
I found that out the other day when I was like, look, what is this blue stuff?
so then and then also let me
Mhm.
show you for annuities. This is the way I go to it. It might be a lot quicker, but well, I say that. Hold on.
Strategic
Yes.
partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go here. And
Tab in the-
oh, you know what? I might not have my
You got to go up to the annuities tab in the top because
Yep, I don't think I have my username and password signed on this laptop. No, I don't. So I won't be able to show that. Sorry.
Okay.
That's
All
okay.
right,
I get the idea.
Yeah, so you'll go to annuities, you'll go to each individual website, and Corebridge, Lincoln, whatever ones that your RVP deals with, and you'll see a RMDs on those particular ones too.
Okay, so that's good. I didn't know that to do that. Okay, I just call in on that because I only got one that got RMDs in it. I usually move them out when the RMDs to a regular annuity. But that was good. All right, all right, Ron, definitely want a copy of that. And hopefully my office manager, which I don't know if she's still on here, but yeah, Valerie. Hey Val. You got it. You got that right, Val.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
All right. See everybody next week.